Southeast, the heart of the fan.
The Mets are obviously a great team. They make you earn everything. That's what we're built for. That's what we train for. We're coming for them.
Swing drive. This one is not coming back. He got it. What a grab by Ronald at the wall. Swing and a high fly ball gets gone. Warning track wall. Leaping drive. He got it. Save. Majestic over. Battles and puts the Braves in front. The big league math is very simple. 6 regular season games are left. 3 are against the first place Mets, and all that's on the line is an Eastern Division title. World champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. We join you in Atlanta for a packed house. It's game 1 of our series between the Braves and the New York Mets. Again, Atlanta just 1 game behind New York in the Eastern Division race. 6 games left. 3 at home against New York, and for the Braves, 3 on the road with the Miami Marlins. Hi again, everybody, with Jim Francourt, Chip Carey, Kelly Crawl along in just a moment. Partner, it doesn't get any bigger than this. We've circled this series for the last 3 months. Here it is, opportunity knocking for Atlanta.
Yeah, it's all you. When you were 10.5 games out, you would have said we would have taken this opportunity late in the year. It's pretty simple. You sweep, boy, you really kind of close out the Mets. If you take 2 out of 3, then you go the last 3 games really kind of back and forth, but you got to take 2 out of 3. And there's no better way to get started than with Max Fried on the mound. This guy has pitched so many big games in his career, none bigger than last year in the World Series. So for him tonight, it's just, you know, kind of status quo. It's a big game. Don't put too much on yourself. And of course, the other side, Jacob deGrom. We all know how great he's been, but he has struggled the last 3 starts. And so the Braves can draw from that, but a great pitching matchup to start, and what's going to be 3 really good pitching matchups the rest of the series.
Can't worry about winning the series until you win game 1. Atlanta's been great at home. Remember, they won the last series played between these clubs here in Atlanta. And as Jeff said, what a way to get things going on the Friday night showdown. Jacob deGrom, Max Fried, packed house, and first place on the line in game 1 in Atlanta.
The man, and he's elite. I mean, he's one of the best there is.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. He got it. Alonzo Chase. Here's Max Fried at his best. He struck him out. Fried has been dominant. Max Fried, a little extra rest. He is ready to go here at home against the New York Mets. Max Fried starts game 1 of this big weekend series. If Atlanta wins, they pull into a tie with New York with 2 games left to be played. The Mets have won 98 games. 47 of them have come on the road. Buck Showalter's team has won 9 of the first 16 head-to-head with Atlanta. As you look at his Toyota starting lineup, there's a newcomer. Francisco Alvarez is going to make his debut tonight. You know about the big names. One guy that's not able to play, Starling Marte, still out with a fractured finger. That's a big part of their lineup, Jeff. And you know Max Fried ready to go for Atlanta as he seeks victory number 14.
You know, I think the great thing for Max here, Chip, he's had 7-8 days off between his last start. Last time he did that, he faced the same New York Mets team, went 7 innings and only gave up 2 runs. So hopefully that can help him have a little bit extra rest, but you know he's going to throw a big ball game tonight.
As we said a moment ago in the opening comments, the broadcasters, the fans, the players, the organizations have looked ahead to this series. It's a big one, no doubt about it. What are your 4 keys for Atlanta here in game 1?
Max threw game 6 of the World Series last year. It's the biggest game he'll ever throw. Just go out there, get the job done. And for this offense, I think, look, the middle part of the bullpen for the Mets is, I think, their weakest part of the team. If you can get some of these starters' pitch count up a little bit and get to that bullpen, I think you can do some damage and really score some runs.
How hard is it as a player to take the emotion out of a game like this? Or can you?
You know, like I said, I think for this Braves team, these guys have been in this situation a little more than the Mets have. Now, don't get me wrong, DeGrom's pitched in the World Series, but I'm kind of saying the rest of the team as a whole, you know, they haven't played in these type games. So a lot of pressure on them, but yeah, you've got to find a way to kind of control your emotions. That's for sure.
So Max Fried will start the game off with Brandon Nimmo, the pesky leadoff man for the Mets. One thing we've seen the Mets do a lot of is foul off Max Fried pitches. Let's see if he can finish off these hitters when he gets to 2 strikes. And that's a great way to start. 93 inside corner, strike 1. Golf down the right field line, hooking toward the netting and into the seats, foul. It's 0-2. Nimmo hitting .266 on the year. He's hitting .263 against the Braves this season. He's only knocked in 1 run, Jeff, but this guy has been a pest as the leadoff hitter against the Atlanta staff.
Well, this is where he's become a pest. 0-2. He can foul off pitches and get back in the count to see if Max can make a quality pitch here.
Nimmo has struck out 113 times this year. And there's the first foul ball. That, as much as anything, is what has driven up Max's pitch counts against the Mets. Buck Showalter's team puts it in play. They have struck out almost 300 fewer times than the Braves offense here in 2022.
Yeah, they don't have that powerful lineup that the Braves do, so they have to, you know, score different ways, manufacture, and they do a good job of, like you said, spoiling pitches.
Just missed the inside corner. Nimmo has not had much luck against Max in his career. Fried 6-5 lifetime against the Mets. There's the breaking ball. Excellent start. Brandon Nimmo down on strikes.
Well, that's a quality curveball. Starts about belt high, and look where it ends up. Almost hits the ground by the time it gets to d'Arnaud. But this is what Max last time, remember up in New York, he really struggled. They fouled his balls off, but he was behind. Now, if you remember a little bit, when he came back and pitched against him in Atlanta last time, 7 innings, he got ahead just like that. So really kind of forced them to have to change a little bit. And if they're going to be so patient and try to do it, just get some free strikes like that.
Pete Alonso having a remarkable year. 131 runs batted in. 40 home runs.
Did you say that's a new franchise record?
It is. For the big polar bear, Pete Alonso, hitting second now. And he wants time. Line drive into center and a one-hop single to Michael Harris. So Alonso is aboard in front of Francisco Lindor with 1 man out here in the first.
Pretty good approach. Went the other way up the middle. Went trying to pull the ball.
I would assume for both offenses tonight, that's what you'd hope to see, right?
Well, yeah, if you get trying to pull the ball too much, these 2 guys tonight will carve you up.
Francisco Lindor is on a hot streak. 13 games. And in that stretch, 11 RBIs. He's over 100 runs batted in.
He's had a nice bounce back season after a disappointing first year in New York.
On the ground, Riley. He's going to have a play at second, and they get Alonso. Super play by Riley to gamble and get the slower runner, Pete Alonso, for the second out.
Well, that's a beautiful play because Riley, we talk about him, his smarts at third base, knowing that Alonso's running. I got time. If this is Nimmo, McNeil, Lindor, one of those guys running, he knows I only have one play and it's first. Here he makes a good throw, and RC a good job just knowing, hey, get that one. Keep him at first.
So Lindor at first, 2 outs for Mark Canha. Canha right on top of the plate. And that's significant because Canha has been hit by a pitch 26 times this year.
I've always been one of those guys, though, Chip. If you're going to get up on the plate like that, you know, you got to be knowing you're going to get hit at some point. Chase Utley, I used to always talk about the Phillies. Those guys were up on the plate, but they knew they'd get hit.
So Fried working that inside corner. Gets ahead. No balls, 2 strikes. This ballpark is crackling with energy to start the weekend.
I mean, tonight really sets the tone if you can get this one tonight.
No balls, 2 strikes for left fielder Mark Canha. A check of Lindor in the pitch. Tipped and he fouled it off. Fouled off at the plate. They shot the fireworks off, but the ball popped out of the glove of Travis d'Arnaud.
Oh, yeah, it's just off the tip of his glove.
But another 2-strike foul ball. Let's have a handful of those already here in the first inning. But Fried ready for his 14th pitch. Roller hit toward third. That is going to stay foul. And Canha will head back to the plate.
Pick another one that the fans thought was fair. That was close, though. That was right on the line.
Well, you love the way that Fried is pounding the strike zone against these Mets hitters. 14 pitches, 12 strikes.
Well, you know, we've watched obviously following them a bit of their action. They have struggled to score runs lately in quite a few games. First, good, solid, elite pitching. And, you know, so to me, if Max, we saw that Jesus Luzardo the second night there really hold them at bay for what, 7 innings? 6 or 7 innings, and he's a lefty like Max, so hopefully he could kind of watch some of that and know this is what I got to do.
On the ground, Riley to his left, vacuums that up, and Max Fried with a terrific 15-pitch shutout first inning. No score. Here come the Braves in Game 1 against Jacob deGrom. It is a packed house in Atlanta for
the Friday Night Showdown.
And it's presented by
Kaiser Permanente.
That's right, Jeff. The Braves and Mets facing off in game one of a big weekend series. Max Fried terrific in the top of the first. Here comes the Atlanta lineup. Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead off the Toyota starting nine. Subtle change to the starting nine. Michael Harris is batting between Swanson and Riley. Breaks up the righties. Matt Olson's bat coming to life. He's hitting fifth. And Jacob deGrom coming off his worst start of the season in Oakland, facing the Braves, seeking his sixth win.
I tell you what, we saw that start in Oakland. We followed it, and if you remember, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, and something you never see from him, 4 walks. He hadn't walked more than 1 in a game this year, so it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back. He was missing over the heart of the plate a lot that game.
First pitch rifled out of play by Acuna at 99 miles an hour. Number one, what's the repertoire of Jacob deGrom? And number two, how do the Braves have to approach him to beat him tonight?
Well, you approach him no different than you did every time you face him. I mean, you're going to get 99 to 100. You're going to get that, hard slider at 93. So get ready. I mean, there's no, look, when you're facing a guy like him, same thing tomorrow night, Scherzer. I mean, you know what these guys do. You've faced them so much. It's about executing.
Outfield straightaway and deep for Ronald. As deGrom goes back to work. And on the ground to short. Lindor's got it. And Ronald down the line is out by a step. And that's out number one. Lifetime against Atlanta, Jacob deGrom 10-8 with a 2.08 ERA. 4-3 in 10 games pitched here at Truist Park. We'll see what gives in the opener, as Dansby Swanson is your batter. Swanson at 276 on the year. Two first pitch swings, including Dansby, who's had some luck against deGrom this year.
Well, that was the last pitch that Jacob deGrom threw that day, as he went right center into the bullpen. The bullpen was having some fun with him.
He's just missed with a couple of 100-mile-an-hour pitches. And Swanson now an even count. Talking with Kevin Seitzer before the game, Jeff, that was the plan of attack. See the ball up, try to hit the ball up against deGrom. But 100 up there.
I'll say not too far up, though.
Not easy to catch up to. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fought off a changeup at 93.
And he'll sprinkle that in every once in a while just to kind of keep you honest.
Swing and a miss. There's the slider. And Swanson is out number 2. First strikeout for deGrom. And Michael Harris is your hitter.
That's so hard. What you're thinking as a hitter right there, what Dansby's seeing is 100 coming out of the hand, painted low and away. And by the time you commit and go, it's that slider off the plate. That's the thing. You get behind 0-2, 1-2 to him. It's tough to really turn the count around in your favor.
Let's see if Michael swings at the first pitch. The first 2 Braves have tonight. 2 outs, bags empty. He did. And it's fouled straight back. Look, as great as deGrom is, he will make a mistake or two. The key is when he does, you can't miss it.
Gotta hit it.
Michael having a great rookie season, 1 homer away from a 2020 campaign. 19 homers, 64 RBIs, and a .305 batting average.
Smells like Rookie of the Year, doesn't it?
Buck Showalter in his first year at the helm in New York. Mets have won 98 games. Brian Snitker's Braves have won 97. And the 2-1 pitch. Fouled straight back. How important is this game? Well, the Braves gave Max Fried extra rest to have him ready for game 1. The Mets juggled their rotation to send DeGrom after Atlanta in game 1.
Look, you're trying to get it ready for this, but both managers too, Chip, have to look at the other side. If things don't go the way you want, you got a game in a week on Friday night.
And Harris swung at a ball in the dirt. Jacob DeGrom with a couple of strikeouts has a 1-2-3 opening frame. We go to the second. The duel is on in Atlanta.
Here at Truist Park, Max Fried in that opening frame, 15 pitches, 13 first strikes, and he is completely locked in. And as Dansby Swanson said, it's probably best before this game. Who else would you want on the mound to start out such a huge series than your ace? And guys, I thought it was interesting in speaking with Colin McHugh a little bit. I said, you know, what do you think makes Max find his best in these brightest moments? And he goes, it's his preparation. He prepares differently than any guy I've seen. He does his own homework, does his own scouting, and he knows himself better than anybody else. But he mentioned the preparation the day before and right after this game, the way he's able to process it and get better each time out. He goes, it's second to none. And tonight, as we saw in game 6 of the World Series, right, those 6 scoreless against the Astros, he's looking for a similar outing here tonight.
Where he's been so good on his home mound, Kelly. Great report. Max, a 1.78 ERA in his last 10 home games.
Yeah, and just stuff-wise, you know, to Kelly's point, I think you're seeing a much different Max Fried than we saw last time out. Same thing with DeGrom on the other side. 2 pitchers like this, they usually rise to the occasion in these type games.
We heard Nick Green talk about this man who's in the batter's box for the Mets. Jeff McNeil, the ultimate pest. Hitting .320. This guy puts the ball in play, chokes way up on the bat handle. And in today's game, and by today's standards, a real throwback. This man's only struck out 7 times in his last 34 games. Remember early in the year when the Mets were getting all those soft hits, all the bloops and bleeders? Well, this guy had a handful of them for Buck Showalter's bunch. And he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and a strike. He doesn't chase.
Well, Nick Lentz behind the plate, to me, one of the better ball strike umpires in all of baseball. And I think you're seeing already tonight, Chip, that ball's in that box so far. He's called it a strike. If it's not, he's balled it.
Nothing wrong with that one. Center cut. And now McNeil facing a 3-2 count. McNeil has 17 hits this year against the Braves. On his way to a .320 batting average. Little pop into shallow left, and Eddie couldn't find it. Another blue pit. Rosario must have lost that in the lights or the twilight skies. Didn't get a good jump, and the leadoff man is on for the Mets.
Well, and you see where Michael's coming on strong there at the end. If he lost it, you almost wish that he was yelling to Michael that he couldn't find it. I have no idea what happened there. To be honest, I don't.
So routine fly ball ends up as the second Mets hit, and now Eduardo Escobar, the hottest Met hitter, stands in.
Well, and they really got him from the side of the plate where he's been best this year as a right-handed hitter. Has struggled mightily from the left side this year.
It's been a struggle on and off the field for Escobar, we're told. He's also dealt with an oblique problem. But he's making a bid for September Player of the Month. More after the 0-1 pitch. Escobar drove in all 5 runs against the Marlins in the last Mets game, and has hit 8 home runs in September.
Getting hot at the right time.
Mets have hit into 117 double plays this year. Escobar has only bounced into 4 of them in 131 games. 1 on, none out, second inning. And a liner into left. Back-to-back hits. So Escobar's hot month continues, and the Mets have the first threat. 2 on, nobody out. And now the New York Mets will see a young man make his big league debut. Francisco Alvarez, the #1 prospect in all of baseball, hits with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, what a time to make your debut, huh? You see Escobar continues the good work.
He's a catcher by trade. Those were his numbers in the minor leagues. Max could use a strikeout or a ground ball. The pitch. There's the ground ball. Riley's got it from his knees. Second one. On to first. Double play. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. What a huge out. Kid was excited. He threw a curveball and he hit it pretty good. Give him credit for that. But when you hit it right down at third base, look at Austin Riley. Perfect throw, perfect turn, and you had plenty of time to get him. Huge out.
So runner at third for New York, 2 away for Luis Guillorme. This guy quietly has given the Braves some trouble at the plate this year. Guillorme hitting 8th. It happens an awful lot in games of this magnitude. You focus so much attention on the stars, the big names. A lot of times it's the understudies who do something dramatic that makes the difference in the game. Hope it's not the case for Guillorme, the Mets' second baseman. Guillorme hitting .275, a couple of homers. He's ahead in the count, 2-0. Line drive left, and he's not able to catch it. Guillorme with 2 outs. Hits one to left, and Rosario couldn't glove it, and New York strikes first. It's 1-0.
Well, this one Eddie got a good jump on, and I mean, just didn't make the play, Chip. I mean, he'll tell you, you got to make that catch. That situation. It's 2 balls now that have gotten there to left field and been hits.
The first and last batted balls in the inning. So the Mets strike in the second, and Tomas Nido is the batter. Three hits in the inning, we think, unless the they're going to give Guillorme a base hit, and 4 hits in total for New York. And that deflates the crowd for the moment as Nido takes outside. Max falling behind these hitters in the second. Two balls that could have and should have been caught have cost Atlanta a run.
And Max bear down right here.
Two balls, one strike. Outfield shades toward right. And now Max a strike away from getting us to the second inning. Two balls, two strikes. Of the first 8 batters in the Mets lineup, 7 have put the ball in play.
Which, I mean, for Max, though, you want that. You've got this type of defense behind you. He's pitching his tail off.
Yorme leads, takes off in the pitch. Here we go. Foul ball to Palooza. Try again. It's 3-2.
And they've kind of rode the hot hand with Nito here the last 5-6 weeks of the season.
How big is the double play ball looking now for Atlanta? Max readies for another 3-2 pitch. Popped up. Long run Olson. Acuna coming near the line, and he's got it. And that'll retire the side. Mets get the first run on 3 hits. We go to the home second. Mets strike first. We head to the bottom of the second inning. But first, Jeff, our player comparison brought to you by Landmark as Austin Riley gets set to lead off.
Yeah, they've both done great work against the Mets. Acuna's hitting .315 this year versus the Mets. And Riley, the last 2 seasons versus NL East teams, 146 games with 33 long balls.
Well, Jeff, you knew you had to score 1. Now you got to score 2.
Yeah.
And let's see what Riley can do as he stands in with 37 homers. Jacob deGrom threw 13 pitches in the first inning, struck out 2 Braves hitters. Austin Riley ahead in the count. Line drive center field. Nimmo on the run, still going back at the wall. We're tied.
Talk about stepping up, Chip. You let one in and you come right back out. Second pitch. There's a slider. You talked about missing spots, trying to go away. That one crept back over the plate. And Austin put a beautiful swing dead center. Tie this baby back up. Look at the emotion.
That's how you snap an 0 for 12. It ties the game, and the electricity is back on at Truist Park. 1-1 game. Now Matt Olson, your hitter. And he swings the first one. Well, the Braves are going after deGrom aggressively early in the count. That's understandable.
Well, you know what? That's the thing. Look, the deGrom they saw on video versus the A's, I hate to say it, throw it out the window. Because what you saw there is a day game. It's not the same as you're seeing here right now tonight.
We all know how the month began for Matt Olson. It's beginning to end beautifully. He's gotten hot of late.
And catching up to the fastball.
You think these fans aren't amped up for this weekend?
Yeah, right.
Two balls and a strike. Olson, as you know, leads the club in walks. He's gotten ahead of DeGrom. What's he going to get here? 3-1. Swung on, belted, right center field, back to back.
Well, for the 12th time this year, the Braves have gone back-to-back. No bigger time to do it than right now. We just said, look better on the road, and all of a sudden, you get a 3-1 fastball right down the middle. I don't care if you throw 110. If you give a big league a chance to get ready like that, and looking back, that off day that he had in Philadelphia might be the smartest thing Smith's done all year.
Listen to this place. As Travis d'Arnaud is the hitter. It's funny, Jeff, during that awful slump for Olson, it was the pitch right down the middle. He couldn't handle it.
Fastballs. It was blowing right by him, and now all of a sudden, like I said, that off day, ever since then. Boy, what an answer.
Back-to-back homers, Riley and Olson in the second. Sky to center again, but this one will land in the glove of Brandon Nimmo, and that is out number one. There are your home run hitters in the Atlanta second.
Well, 3-1, 99 right down the middle. Matt was sitting dead red, ready for it, and that ball was lined over, Chip, over the bullpen. And now they're giving him some nice music as Contreras comes up to the plate. I love this. Hey, it's all right to have a little fun, too, in these big moments.
William Contreras didn't get 100. Strike one for the Braves designated hitter. Contreras had a big road trip, 7 hits. He's hit 20 homers. And DeGrom pitching a little angry now.
You think?
He's ahead 0-2. This is reminiscent of what happened in Oakland. As Lindor on the ground at short, tricky hop, and got him by a step. The Mets gave him a big lead. He promptly came back in the first inning and gave it all back up and was very upset.
Well,
and said his start was frankly unacceptable.
Yeah, if you go back, though, he was 96, 97. He's got his stuff tonight. He's throwing 100. That slider he struck out Dansby with at 93 was big-time movement. He just made a mistake on a cutter or on a slider to Austin, and he smoked it, and he got behind 3-1 and came with that heater, and Matt didn't miss it.
Well, that was what we said earlier, right? DeGrom will give you a hittable pitch.
Oh, yeah. It's just you got to hit it.
Now trying to lift Eddie Rosario up. And fouled back, strike one. Rosario had 3 doubles on the road trip, 3 doubles out of his 7 hits. Right now he feels like $1 million. His offense has helped him out after a rough defensive second inning. He hits with the bases empty and a 1-run lead. No swing. And it's Ted Barrett, the crew chief, umpiring at third. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, they got a nice crew in here for this series. It's what you want in these type of games.
Now it's DeGrom's turn to pitch behind in the count. Back-to-back homers started the second. 2 outs and a 3-1 pitch coming for Eddie Rosario.
That time he threw the slider. Eddie, as good a fastball hitter as there is on this ball club. I don't think he was going to give him that same 3-1 that he gave Olson. Now all bets are off.
Third choice. And a swing and a miss. 100 up and out of the zone. But Atlanta got the inning off in beautiful fashion. Austin Riley hits one over the fence in straightaway center. Matt Olson got ahead in the count. He hit one over the Braves bullpen. And Atlanta has its first lead of the weekend. 2-1 your score. Braves baseball on Valley Sports is presented by Truist. Austin Riley and Matt Olson have gone back-to-back, something the Braves have done 12 times this year. Now, Jeff, Max Fried has his first lead and the top of the order coming up in the New York third.
Back to work.
And a first pitch strike to Nimmo, who swung and missed in the first inning. If ever there was an inning where Max needed to put up a 0, this would be it.
Preferably a quick one too, right? Get action early.
Nimmo's done a nice job out of the leadoff spot. He scored 99 runs. He's been drawing a lot of walks of late. Not a great base stealer, but as we've said, he's a pest. Been a real good table setter. Or Pete Alonso, who's waiting on deck. Another 2-strike foul ball. Nimmo, Alonso, and Lindor for New York. Packed house in Atlanta. The Braves well over 3 million in attendance. Final 3 home games of the regular season. If it hit the mark, he'd have frozen him. But it was inside, and the count evens up. Nimmo will see a 7th pitch.
I think the one advantage the Braves have, though, look, you'd love Fried's, pitch count to stay relatively low, give him a chance, but Braves trust their bullpen too if they have to go there in the 6th, 7th. I think that's a big difference in these two teams. Whereas the Mets 5th, 6th, 7th inning not as strong.
Little tapper. Dansby's got a charge. Fast runner. And he'll make the play. Nicely done. 1 out.
Nimmo fell out of the box. He slipped.
Yep.
Yeah, trouble getting out of the box.
That chalk line's been there since 1876, but Nimmo tripped over it. That helped Dansby make the play, and even Brandon's smiling about that as he's out number 1. Here's Pete Alonso. He served one into center field his first time up. A .269 average for Alonso after that first inning knock. Toward center field, no problem. That'll be a 1-pitch out. 2 men down. Jeff mentioned right guy at the right time for the Braves starting this series. Max Fried is our Georgia Natural Gas impact player. Look at what he's done on his home mound.
Yeah, that's at home since the All-Star break. The games he's been out, scored opponents 136-65 with a +71 run differential. Max has allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in all 10 starts.
Lindor bounced out his first time up. That's driven toward right, curling toward the sellout crowd, and Max has it even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Like that pitch there. Just something to keep him from diving out over the plate. Max has done a great job of, you know, that outside part of the plate. You saw the pitch Alonso just flew out on. He's done a good job of going away to these Mets hitters.
But you can't live out there against any big league team, can you? He's got a pitch inside too.
Well, no, for sure. But you know, sometimes with these right-handed hitters, Max can get throwing that slider cutter in. I feel like they, you know, sometimes open up and start to cheat. What I'm saying tonight is he's doing a great job of not letting them feel like he's coming in every time. I like how he's pitching them a little bit backwards.
Swing and a miss. Shutdown inning for Max Fried. 1, 2, 3. Down go the Mets in the 3rd. Atlanta looks to add to a 2-1 lead in game 1.
Tiki Barber in the house. Former Giants running back, great. I bet he's here to call the Falcons game Sunday.
That's right. Falcons are in action this weekend too. So
sure, he's pulling for the Braves, right?
Of course.
We'll treat him right. Get a Braves win and a Falcons win.
Orlando Arcia leads off the 3rd inning. Atlanta up 2-1. I was asked earlier today on the rally here on our Bally Sports family of networks what the Braves' plans at second base are going to be for this final week. I would assume this is your answer, right?
Yeah, I think you're saying it.
Line drive into center, and that's why Orlando's been swinging a good bat. And DeGrom has given up 3 hits. That's the first one to stay in the ballpark.
And taking it right back up the middle. That ball, you know, you're saying about the approach. Kevin Seitzer was talking about see the ball up. That's exactly what he's talking about. You can handle that pitch. If that pitch is down by the knees, it's probably a ground out.
So the bottom feeds the top. It's Ronald's turn. Ronald grounded out to short his first time up. Ronald's been awfully good on the first pitch, and the Braves have been very busy on the first pitch the first time through the order. Short lead at first for Orlando. The pitch is a swinging bunt. There'll be only one play. It'll advance the runner with one out. So Ronald swings again at the first pitch, but it's a productive out. Runner in scoring position for Dansby Swanson.
And great job by Orlando Arcia. He got a beautiful secondary lead and a beautiful jump on that, because usually in a ball that close, Nito's getting it and throwing him out at second, keeping that first play. Look at that. Look at that secondary lead gone. Never had a chance to even try to throw him out. Now look, you get two chances here. Even a bloop, anything, gets another run in.
Dansby's having his best RBI year in the major leagues. 92 runs batted in. That extends his franchise record as a shortstop. As you know, you don't get many chances like this against DeGrom or the 1, 2s, and 3s in playoff situations. You want to win games, got to cash these in.
Yeah, for sure.
Not easy.
Well, just tack on little small ones that kind of separate and give Max Fried a little more room.
0-1 for Swanson. Dansby tried to yank that into the Mets bullpen and came up empty. But Jeff, we've seen it a lot. In 2-out situations, he's come up big, and when he's down to his last strike, perhaps he's come up even bigger.
Yeah, he's second in all of baseball with 45 RBIs with 2 strikes in the count. He's done such a good job of cutting that swing down and just driving the ball up the middle the other way.
Well, they give him the whole right side of the infield as DeGrom checks the runner at second. 2-1 Atlanta, your score. Well, as a hitter, I'm sure that's got to drive you crazy. You think, okay, wide open right side, and then he busts the ball in into your hands.
Yeah, runs well, and that's, yes, but a nice job just to get a piece of that and see another pitch.
The 1-2 instead. A fake to second. Again, we mentioned no Starling Marte for the Mets. Their outfield, Canna in left, Nimmo in center, McNeil in right. How are the arms for the Mets defensively out there?
You know, I mean, look, Marte's a big loss. It's a little bit like Ozzie for the Braves as far as he's kind of their spark in that lineup. Definitely not as strong defensively.
Oh, that was close. 2-2.
Now with McNeil in right and Nimmo in center, you can cover some ground, but arms wise, you can run on them. If there's a base hit here, look for Wash to be aggressive.
They're deep in center and in right. Canna a little shallow in left for Swanson, who's earned a 2-2 count. Got him over the outside corner. Couldn't put it on a tee better than that. And 2 are out.
Yeah, that was a tough one. A guy like DeGrom, who's around the plate a lot, he tried to nitpick that one. Boy, it's so tough to take that pitch. But Dansby's looking at it too. If I swing at it, there's not much I can do with it. Sometimes you just tip your cap.
So DeGrom's gotten the 1, 2, 3 hitters for the Braves on strikes, 3 out of 5 at bats, including Michael Harris, who's 0 for 5 against DeGrom, all 5 strikeouts. See if he can change that.
Same means he's due.
Up the middle, it skips off the mound. Lindor has to give ground. He won't have a play. Now Arcia wandered too far up the third base bag. They've got him in a rundown. It's still alive. They run him all the way back to Alonso, who applies the tag, and that retires the side. Braves would have had first and third with Riley coming up, but Arcia wandered too far around the third base bag, and the Braves run themselves into the fourth. Three exciting innings in Atlanta. The Braves, with back-to-back homers in the second, have taken a 2-1 lead over the Mets. Max Fried has retired the last 4 hitters in a row, Jeff. A perfect third, and he did it economically. Yeah, you like that. He's getting in a nice little groove, and you know, he kept him in the second to that 1 run, and then all of a sudden Braves came with those 2. And sometimes you give a starter like Max a little bit of a lead like that, he's going to smell it. Smell blood. Mark Canha bounced out his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. The 4, 5, 6 hitters are due for New York. And on the ground to Riley. Backhand stab, and the toss across perfect. 1 away. Here's a quick word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with Tongue Torch, Zax Sauce, or any of our sauces.
Jeff McNeil led off the second with a base hit that Rosario either lost in the twilight or the lights, we presume. We won't know till after the game. But that led to the first and only Mets run to this point. So McNeil now a 6-game hitting streak as Max Fried stares him down.
The Atlanta pitching, Chip, in September, we've talked how good the bullpen's been. Add that with the starters. Opposition's hitting 194 in September. Number 1 in all of baseball.
Redeemer for Eddie. 2 outs. So with that great number you mentioned with the pitching, Jeff, let's take a look at what the Braves have done here at home. That's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
This is a 21-6 plus 71 run differential here at home in the second half. That's why you felt so good about this series coming here to Atlanta.
Eduardo Escobar singled his first time up. He was swinging for the fences, didn't get it. Escobar, a 20-homer man. He's played very good defensively for the Mets too. He couldn't measure that one up. Max Fried has all of his weapons at his disposal so far tonight. He's done a great job of getting ahead of and finishing off these Mets. And he took care of Escobar on 3 pitches. Max Fried has set down 7 straight. 3 strikeouts. Heart of the order coming up for the Braves. It's the 4th inning, and Atlanta leads 2-1.
Braves as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Austin Riley leading things off, of course, tied up the game in the 2nd inning with his 38th home run of the season. Also a career high when you consider inning leading off homers. That is number 9 on the year. But you know, Austin talked before the game, guys, about the cool off he's had in September, and he goes, I feel like my at-bats have been better. In the past, when I've gone into slumps, I've had a bunch of strikeouts, but he said, you know, I was getting to 3-2 and just missing my pitch, so he felt like his cage work, the BP, it all been good. It was just a matter of executing a plan, and he goes, sometimes one barrel to click, and that is all it takes, and certainly we saw that in his last AB, guys.
Yeah, good report, Kelly, because he's walked a lot too. We talked about in Washington, you know, he was getting hit by some pitches too, and I agree, you're not seeing the strikeouts, you're not seeing the 2-3 pitch at bats and you're walking back to the dugout. I thought he did a much better job. And boy, if you can get him and Olson hot here together at the right time.
Well, the right time was the second.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Back-to-back homers.
I mean, kind of, hey, keep it going. Right in. As he just caught a break there. Wow.
Yeah, 2 strikes from DeGrom. One looked to be up and out of the zone. That one might have been away from Riley. And as good as Jacob is, he doesn't need that kind of help.
No, that's not a strike. That's a tough AB there.
Matt Olson's first career hit against DeGrom put the Braves in front, and it was a cannon shot. You mentioned this earlier in the game. One of the big advantages the Braves will have over just about every team in the major leagues is the thunder up and down this lineup. You expect it in the middle, but 1 through 9, anybody can leave the yard. And Matt did for the 31st time, his first time up tonight. One ball, 1 strike. To put that in perspective, the Braves this year have hit 75 more homers than the Mets.
Man, really, we've said this all year about the All-Star break on when you got enough home runs, enough data. 1 through 3 in the order, 81 home runs. 4 through 6, 77. 7 through 9, 78. There's no other team like it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's something I notice about Matt right now that's different from the first 2 weeks of September. As he took his stance early in the month, his forearms were almost parallel to the ground. Hands a little closer now, Jeff. Not quite as stiff. And he's been doing that a lot more, fouling off tough pitches and then barreling as he did in the second inning. Here are your home runs.
Yeah, it's our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Of course, Austin dead center, 105 off the bat, and then Matt over the Braves bullpen, 430, just over 110, smoked.
That is tipped and caught. Back-to-back strikeouts for DeGrom. And 2 are out for Travis d'Arnaud, the former Met. So both pitchers finding their rhythm now. Atlanta's got the lead. d'Arnaud, the Braves' 6th place hitter. Braves have a bevy of 15-plus homer men. d'Arnaud is one of them. He has 18. That's popped up right side. Long run McNeil in foul ground. He can't get there. No balls and a strike.
That's the worst as an outfielder, Chip. You run so far and then you get over there and you go, even if it was in play, I wouldn't have caught it. Went out of play. I'm going to run that far.
Yeah, make your sprints count. Make them mean something.
Exactly.
What a harmless pop fly for Travis, who digs in 0-1. We saw DeGrom up in New York, his first home start. His slider was 96, 97. 93 is nothing to sneeze at. Along with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball tonight. DeGrom has thrown strike 1 to 13 of the first 14 Braves hitters in the game. Nobody knows what that feels like more than Travis d'Arnaud.
I was going to say, right?
The 0-2 pitch. Strike three, top of the zone. DeGrom strikes out the side. He's got 7, but Atlanta's got the lead, and we head to the 5th.
Welcome to the Friday Night Showdown, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Max Fried and Jacob DeGrom matching pitch for pitch in a game that's lived up to the advanced billing. The Braves offense has given Max a 1-run lead on back-to-back homers in the 2nd inning. Max Fried is through 4. He has retired the last 7 Mets in order, and he'll face the lower 3rd leading off inning number 5. Francisco Alvarez in his first big league game swung at his first big league pitch and hit into a double play.
Yep.
And he needs a little big league pine tar. Strike 1.
Hey, I like it though. The kid's hacking.
Yeah, well, he's your kind of guy. I was going to say.
I was about to say.
Well,
sometimes, you know, I'm going to take another pitch. Nah. I'm hacking.
Well, he's playing the role of the designated hitter.
Right.
And that's been a sore spot for the Mets. They've not gotten a lot of production out of that spot. As the 0-1 pitch catches the outside corner. This young man is no late bloomer. He is the first Met player born in the year 2000 or later to come to the big leagues.
Wow. Well, and I'll tell you one thing, you're seeing Max do a good job. He's got the good curveball right now. And I love that he's starting to kind of throw that a little bit more, and he's realizing that it's been very effective.
2 of them in this sequence. And another one, and the kid fought it off. Darren Ruff, who was acquired by the Mets at the deadline, was placed on the injured list to make room for Alvarez. Guillorme and Tomas Nido will follow him.
A little bit too far in on that pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. If you can hit, you can hit. And how about this? They bring this young man up to the major leagues in the heat of a pennant race.
Yeah. You're going to debut and you're going to do it in this type of game.
And it's squibbed right at Matt Olson, and he's going to flip to Fried, and he gets there ahead of the designated hitter for out number 1. Matt likes to toss to the pitcher, but boy, Max had to cover a lot of ground there.
Yeah, he does, huh?
And that was a little closer than anybody would have liked, but effective for 8 up, 8 down.
I'll say this, Alvarez runs pretty good for bigger kid.
Here's Guillorme, a base hit to left. That was the ball that Eddie tried to make a diving grab on. The ball deflected off his glove. It was ruled a hit, and that scored Jeff McNeil for the only Mets run. Every pitch has such weight. You can hear the crowd.
Well, when you got 2 aces out on the mound, and look, they want every pitch. I mean, they do, and so they're, you know, both Nido and d'Arnaud are working the umpire behind the plate.
But they go silent.
Oh yeah.
Poked foul, 0-2. Well, what a way to start this huge weekend. Fried and DeGrom in game 1. Scherzer and Kyle Wright tomorrow night. Chris Bassett, Charlie Morton on Sunday. There's some big news regarding Charlie Morton, and Kelly will have that report in just a bit. This is the Mets game plan. They're throwing their big two right at the Braves in the first two games of this series. Right now, Atlanta is leading by a 2-1 score. Slowly hit. Arcia has got that, and Guillorme jogs to first and is out number 2. Fried's retired 9 straight. Fans get more team coverage, full game replays and highlights. Braves baseball is streaming on the Bally Sports app, and that's presented by Coors Light. This is our final home regular season game on Bally Sports. And while we have a moment, I want to thank our fantastic crew for their remarkable work. Gretchen Caney, the best producer in the game. Mike Miller, our director. Al Galima upstairs, Val Burrell. Too many names to mention, but we are so grateful to represent their great work.
Yep. Thanks for putting up with us all year. How about that?
That's an even better way of saying it. Tomas Nido swings and misses.
Except Hal. You know, we got to put up with Hal every once in a while, too. He's part of the group.
But we will be with you for the Braves postseason run. We'll have post-game coverage after each and every Braves playoff game from the Battery Atlanta. And who knows, we'll either start a week from today or the following week.
The following Tuesday, yep.
Either way, we're heading in to postseason play. 69 pitches for Fried with 2 outs, and number 70 a beauty. It's 1-2.
That's why I think Snit did a good job with this ball club, not trying to add the pressure to it. Guys, we're in the postseason. Worst case, we're hosting a series here at home the whole time. So go out there, relax, play. You're world champs. I thought it was a great time to kind of let the guys remember that.
Slowly hit. Riley charges, makes the grab, and Max Fried is set down 10 straight. 2-1 Atlanta. Our lower third's coming up.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
2 home runs for Atlanta. Well, we said when New York scored first, you knew you had to score 1. We knew we had to score 2. And for the 12th time this year, back-to-back blasts has Truist Park rocking tonight. Fried's brilliant. He's retired 10 straight. DeGrom struck out the side in the 4th. Now William Contreras leads off.
But I tell you what, you get the feeling both these guys are starting to find their groove right now.
When you get swings like that, you know the stuff is elevated.
Well, and even DeGrom, who's pitching so many big games, if you're overamped sometimes, that ball, you know, can back up on you, flatten out a little bit. I don't care how long you've pitched, when you go into big games like this, you asked me on the start of the game, how do you calm down in these situations?
1 ball, 2 strikes. And time call. I guess the question going forward in this game, Grom's right around 60 pitches. How deep will he go? How deep can he go?
I mean, I don't see any reason he can't go 95, 100 pitches. I mean, at this point, that's training wheels are off, right?
But the 2nd and 3rd time through the lineup has been problematic for him, especially the 6th inning. If he gets that far, and he just missed.
And I'll always go with kind of what we say sometimes. Is what's coming out down there better than what you have?
That's the dilemma for a manager, right?
And for the Braves right now, with that bullpen, the way they're throwing, if Max does get a little bit tired, you feel very confident swinging that door open.
3-2 pitch. Lined out of play. DeGrom has not walked a leadoff batter in any inning yet this year. Let's see if Contreras can change that and get him in the stretch. In fact, Grom's walked only 8 guys all season.
4 in the last start.
Amazing. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And he has struck out the last 4 hitters. And his last 5 outs have come via strikeout. 1 up, 1 down. Packed house, as you'd expect. All the Southeast has been looking forward to this big weekend. You see the Braves and Mets battling on our Xfinity live look cam. Eddie Rosario struck out his first time. Rosario played to pull. Straight away in the outfield. Well, that slider is really starting to sizzle.
Yeah, I feel like if he catches you, especially if you get a little too aggressive with him, Eddie likes to get out there, get that ball out front. Saw him throwing 2 or 3 of those last time up.
Took a little off that slider, and look at the results. He was able to do nothing more than pull it foul at first. Whole left side's open for Eddie if somehow he can push the ball toward third.
The way he's pitching him right now, I don't know if that's possible.
It's going away here and missed badly. Well, that pitch is another inch or 2 closer. Rosario might have been in business.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. 5 straight strikeouts for DeGrom. 2 are out in the Atlanta 5th. And Orlando Arcia is coming up. First, a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Arcia with a single in the 3rd inning.
Just like Max last inning, DeGrom's reached 69 pitches here, and we're still in the 5th.
And number 70 exploded away from the Braves' right-hand hitter.
That's why I said he's finding a groove on the other side. Max has done the exact same thing. Good news for the Braves is you were able to get those two runs early and get the lead.
Colin McHugh is warming up. Top of the order is scheduled for the Mets in the 6th. Interesting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popped up. And it's short. Lindor is there. The Braves break the strikeout string of DeGrom. But Atlanta's down in order, and we move to the 6th inning. 2-1 in game 1 for Atlanta.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Toyota, Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by the All-South Highway Safety Team. Never mix drinking and driving.
2-1 Atlanta. We head to the 6th inning. We were wondering why Colin McHugh was warming up so quickly in the Braves bullpen. This is what happened while the Braves were batting just a few moments ago. Max Fried jumps up and looks like he's about to be ill. He makes his way down the dugout, goes down toward the tunnel, and then tries to come back out. But by that time, Rick Kranitz was checking on him, told Snit that Max was sick. And so that means Colin McHugh will come on for Atlanta after Fried goes 5 innings of 1-run ball in game 1.
Well, you hate that the way Max was throwing, but I will tell you this, though. When you talk about Colin McHugh, 1-1-7 and 7 2/3 against the Mets this year. We said it, though, the Braves bullpen better than the Mets bullpen.
And certainly this month.
You hate it for him because, as we said, he was on a roll. And I saw Nick Lentz, the umpire, go over to Buck Showalter to tell him what was happening. And I can tell you, Buck said, take as much time as you need. He's just glad Fried's out of the game. But still, the Braves bullpen has been outstanding as of late, and I wouldn't expect anything different.
Yeah, this month in September, the Braves penned 6 wins, 3 losses, 7 saves, collectively a 1.67 earned run average, and averaging more than a strikeout per inning pitched. You mentioned the great work Colin McHugh has done against the Mets. He is a former Met, and he'll inherit the top of the order with Nimmo, Alonso, and Francisco Lindor. So the line on Max Fried, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run earned. Most importantly, no walks and 3 strikeouts. He finished his night retiring the last 10 Mets hitters in order. So a different look for New York, different game plan. I don't think they figured McHugh would be in after 5.
No.
So let's see how Colin manages Nimmo, Alonso, and Francisco Lindor. Whether it's McHugh or Jackson Stevens or Jesse Chavez, these guys come in, Jeff, and throw strikes.
Well, the one thing McHugh and I think Jesse Chavez give the Braves bullpen a great thing is just the different type of pitcher they are. You know, you get Max, you get some of these guys throwing really hard, and then all of a sudden you get these guys coming in. They're hitting spots, kind of tricking you a little bit.
Well, he's going to be around the plate, just as Fried was. Nimmo 0 for 2 against Max. He has an even count. The thing that makes Colin and Jackson Stevens and Jesse Chavez so valuable in games like this come playoff time, they can give you multiple innings. Braves have no more off days left before the end of the regular season. Out of play foul. McHugh has Nimmo set up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, Arcia diving try, slides, and his throw will be late. Great play to keep it on the infield, but Nimmo, another infield hit for the Mets. That's been a big part of their game, and the leadoff man is on.
Well, you said it. What a great play. Unfortunately, where they were kind of shading him reminds you of that hit Michael Harris had the other night, right in that little hole there, and there's not much you can do about it. And with Nimmo's speed, you never had a chance to get him.
Yeah, the thing that makes Nimmo so unique, yeah, he gets on base as a leadoff guy. He seldom tries to steal a base. He's only tried 5 of them.
I remember earlier in the year when we played him one time, I think it was in that August, he'd only, I think it was 2 stolen bases. I couldn't believe it.
Well, he's heated up. He's all the way up to 3 as he leads in front of Pete Alonso, who hits one right into the shift, Step on the bag, double play, 2 outs. 2 first pitch double plays for the Atlanta staff.
Beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better spot. Easy double play. Arcia with the strong arm.
Love how he waved Dansby off too.
Yeah, I got it.
So 2 ground balls for Colin McHugh, 2 double plays for Atlanta, and Francisco Lindor is coming up. Lindor turns around and bats from the left side. He's played as a dead pull hitter on the Atlanta infield. Austin Riley is the rover in shallow right. Feast your eyes on this in these final days. Next year that can't happen.
Yeah, right.
With the new shift rules that will take effect, all the defenders have to have their feet on the dirt. When we get to the Atlanta half of the 6th inning, the Braves will have the top of their order coming up. Bases are empty for Francisco Lindor. We got Mark Canha waiting next. And that has been a great matchup for Colin McHugh. So don't throw this guy a cookie with Canha next. On the ground, right at Orlando. McHugh's going to get him in the 6th inning. No runs a hit, nobody left. Time to add on. It's the Braves by a run. Well, the Braves have clinched a playoff berth, and we've got you covered on Bally Sports throughout the entire postseason with complete post-game analysis, interviews, and more. Watch Braves Live postseason after every Braves playoff game on Bally Sports South, Bally Sports Southeast, and, of course, the Bally Sports app. Top of the order for Atlanta against Jacob deGrom.
Boy, even one tack-on run here would be huge.
Ronald is 0 for 2. That's the first time he didn't swing at the first pitch, by the way. Swung at that one, but popped it out of play, foul. It's 1-1. So Jeff, I mentioned this year, it's an anomaly, but it's certainly worth mentioning. This has been the vulnerable inning for Jacob deGrom. In the 6th inning, he's pitched to a .945 ERA and has given up 4 homers. Right guys in the lineup to add to that distress. Swing and a miss. deGrom has 10 strikeouts in the game.
That's the one thing he does a great job of, better than probably anybody in the game, is if he sees you start to go a little bit and chase, he's going to go a little farther out each time.
That's deGrom's 58th double-digit strikeout game in his career and his 5th of this season. Dansby, your hitter. He's struck out twice. He lines the first pitch, deep left center field. Cannon back, track wall, it's gone. Lucky 6 for Atlanta.
Sixth inning, you talked about it, Chip. Dansby goes up there and absolutely gets all over this first pitch heater. Down in the zone and golfs it for his 100th career home run for Dansby Swanson. And there's that tack-on run we were talking about.
So Dansby Swanson ambushes the first pitch. Atlanta has hit 3 solo home runs tonight. It's a 2-run lead. Lined out of play.
If you remember back in New York, Dansby got him on a slider away, Chip, and hit a home run to end his night when he first came back. Remember, second start back. Well, tonight he gets a fastball 98 down.
Harris hits one high in the air toward left. Canna drifting back. Look at that ball carry to the track. And there is the second out. It's the 7th time DeGrom's allowed 3 homers or more in a game. They've come tonight out of the 2, 4, and 5 spots in the lineup.
Now, what do we talk about? You know what? He got his 10 strikeouts so far, right, Chip? But the Braves got 3 home runs at the same time. And that's what, I mean, that's what this team does. They are going to strike out, but they're also going to show you the power they have.
Dansby was talking with the authenticator at the end of the Braves dugout. I think he wants the Braves media relations staff to try to get that milestone homer. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100th career home run, absolutely. And off DeGrom.
Yeah.
That might be the other part of it.
Good point. So Austin Riley homered his first time up. He's homered off DeGrom and Scherzer this year. One of 2 players in the big leagues that can say that. And we've got Scherzer in our sights in game 2 tomorrow. So that gentleman in the red Braves jersey is the man that has that 100th homer. Sir, you'll be visited by Braves PR in just a minute. So again, 6th inning. DeGrom's given up 5 homers. Swanson's made it a 2-run Braves lead.
Not much you're going to do with that pitch.
Full count. Tipped and caught, and that'll end the inning. Dansby Swanson with his 100th big league home run. One of 3 solo shots hit by the Braves in game 1. After 6, Braves taking care of business at home, leading 3-1.
Welcome to the Friday Night Showdown, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Well, the Braves hit homers, and they've hit them every way you can think of in tonight's game against Jacob deGrom. Dansby's solo shot extends the lead to 3-1 after 6 innings here in game 1. Our final A-list member of the regular season at home is Brian Thomas of Canton, Georgia. This is Brian's first year as an A-lister, and his favorite perks are unique A-list events, exclusive giveaways, and his awesome service rep. Congrats to Brian Thomas, tonight's A-list member of the game. Raisel Iglesias now is on, and look at his numbers since putting on a Braves uniform.
I would say, is that pretty good?
Great job by Colin McHugh. Gave up a leadoff hit. Got a double play ball and a ground out to send us to the 7th. Iglesias versus Canha, McNeil, and Escobar. It's gotten late in game 1.
Yeah, and you got the part now of the bullpen that you feel real confident with.
So you can go Iglesias, Minter, and Jansen, I presume. That's, I'm guessing Snit's looking at things depending on matchups.
I would think so. We always talk about Minter and Iglesias can kind of switch 7th, 8th depending on what you like.
Canha the righty, McNeil the lefty, Escobar the switch hitter. And Escobar struck out in his last at bat. Good drive had missed low for Canha. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The other thing that's so important when you play the Mets, have the lead late. Make Diaz inconsequential.
Yeah, irrelevant,
if you can.
right?
That's an excellent start. Swing and a miss. Canha's retired. He's 0 for 3. 1 out. And here's McNeil. He's 1 for 2.
Look at that changeup.
That's where you want it, right?
You get 96, 97 coming in there as a hitter, and then all of a sudden you get that at 89. Good luck.
Attention media, today's attendance is 42,402. It's a sellout. 4240.
Base is empty for McNeil.
The 40th sellout of the 2022 season.
We had our 40th sellout at Truist Park tonight. 42,402.
Truist Park history, including this season.
It's a remarkable year for the Braves, celebrating last year's World Series. They've drawn over 3 million fans, and 2 more big crowds expected the rest of the weekend, tomorrow and again Sunday night. McNeil to left center, but Harris had a great jump, had him shaded that way. Canha calling 2 out.
Well, you call it, partner. He went after that ball right away, knew he had a beat on it, and never looked back. What a beautiful route. Easy catch for Michael. Knew that ball would be slicing in the gap. That's textbook.
Yeah, good work using that peripheral vision to make sure that Rosario wasn't in his way. And it's 2 up, 2 down for Escobar. Don't walk him. 2 balls, no strikes. Hope you'll stick around for the stretch. Appreciate our friends at Georgia Natural Gas sponsoring this great feature. Trevor and the guys will be talking about Max Fried's big start and the powerful Atlanta lineup. 3 solo home runs off Jacob deGrom. Driven toward the right field corner. Acuna on the run. He'll play that off the bricks. And it'll ricochet back toward the infield. And Escobar has a 2-out double. And the rookie is coming up. Alvarez.
You know, it's interesting in this moment right here. Usually this was a moment with the DHs. As you can see, Escobar turns on that. Boy, he's hot right now.
Yep.
But this is a situation where you would see Vogelback a lot coming up. But young Alvarez, give him a chance if he's your #1 prospect.
Well, he doesn't know Iglesias, and conversely, Rysel hasn't seen him. So He's sticking with the kid in his major league debut. He's hit into a double play, and he's bounced out to first. Again, Darren Ruff placed on the injured list to make room for Francisco Alvarez, who's the #1 prospect in baseball, we're told. It's a big run to cut off with 2 outs. And Iglesias gets ahead. Now the crowd will come to life again. Fly ball center. Harris going back. He's going to have room. Shy of the track. Iglesias sends us to the stretch. Atlanta leads it 3-1 in game 1 on a beautiful Friday night. Trevor.
The Stretch is brought to you by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Welcome into the Stretch presented by Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor Scales, Nick Green, and Brian Jordan outside kicking it on the battery with the fellas out to a raucous start to start this here series. All important, and Max Fried gives you literally everything he can to start things off, BJ.
Well, we knew it was going to be a big-time game, and we had the big-time guy on the mound, and Max Fried. Boy, did he get it done. After a couple of mishaps in the outfield earlier, gives up an earned run, but he bounced back with a vengeance. 5 innings pitched. Everything was working. Unbelievable, Nick.
Hey, BJ, you wanted the bloopers against DeGrom. I wanted the home runs. They go back-to-back in the second inning. Riley snapped an 0 for 12 slump. Olsen looks like he's back. And Dansby Swanson, how about this, going down to get it one of the prettier swings.
Yeah, baby!
Save that for after the game. We're going to go 23rd home run, 100th home run of Dansby's career. 5 hits for the Braves, 3 home runs. I'm in it all day long.
Look, the offense is on and cracking, and you need what you can from that defense as well. Let's get some more Braves baseball on the other side of a quick word from our friends at Georgia Natural Gas.
Ready to play ball with a new gas company? Georgia Natural Gas knocks it out of the park with simple service and great rates. And when it comes to helping the environment, GNG's Greener Life program makes it as easy as paying your gas bill. Sign up with a home team today at GNG.com.
Great job with the Stretch, fellas. We head to the home 7th. The night is over for Jacob deGrom. The Braves touch him for 3 solo home runs. 6 games left, including this one tonight. If the Braves win, we'll be tied with New York, entering game 2 of this series tomorrow night. So as we cut to the chase, just 2 regular season series are left. Braves and Mets here. Atlanta heads to Miami after action Sunday night. We'll have all the action for you here on Bally Sports South and Bally Sports Southeast. The cut to the chase is presented by our friends at Texas Pete. Sauce like you mean it. Well, here's another nemesis for Atlanta. You remember Tyler McGill?
I think they had him warming up for a reason, right?
That's one thing, touching on what you were mentioning earlier about the middle relief. I don't want to say woes for the Mets, but they're trying McGill, they're trying David Peterson as multi-inning guys to try to get the ball to Diaz in the ninth.
Yeah, in a perfect world for them, they want their starter going 7. They want Ottavino in the 8th and Diaz in the 9th.
So the Braves have 5 hits in the game off deGrom. 3 of them left the ballpark. He struck out 11. And he's losing the game 3-1 to Max Fried, who pitched 5, left with illness before the 6th inning. Matt Olson 1 for 2 with a 2nd inning home run. Line drive into right field. Matt Olson barrels another one. He's getting hot at the right time.
That's what we said when he went through that long stretch. Chip, I think the first night in Philly, we had both kind of agreed, man, you got to believe it's going to turn, and when it does, you're going to see a lot of this.
It's funny you say that. He had a stretch earlier in the year, 23 plate appearances without reaching base.
Yeah.
Then he got hot. He was in 2021 during this miserable start in September.
Let me tell you, as a hitter, sometimes your favorite thing to do is right before the end of spring training is you get in a little 10-day slump. Because then you know, not going to be in a slump for that long.
Otherwise, you don't make the team.
Yeah, well,
that's a good point.
Make sure you're on the team first.
Right. As McGill misses outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, look, keep adding on. It's a dangerous Mets team. Travis d'Arnaud is 0 for his first 2 tonight. McGill making his 5th relief appearance. He was out 60 days with a strained right shoulder. He's got a big fastball, 94, 95 miles an hour, and he's a big man too. Right center field. That curling away from Nimmo. He's still going. That ball is off the base of the wall. Olson's on his way to third. They're going to stop him. Atlanta's got him second and third. Nobody out.
Man, what a beautiful piece of hitting right here. Split that gap in right center. There's that changeup. You see him stay with it beautifully. And good read by Olson. They're lucky that ball came right off the wall. If that hopped it, he would have scored, but with no outs, you're in business.
These are playoff at bats. You've got 3 cracks to score at least 1 run here.
Yep.
Contreras 0 for 2. The infield comes in for the Mets. Nothing in 2 for our Coors Light beating the pressure featured player. This is Williams' work against New York.
And look at the job he's done this year, whether he's been DHing like tonight or catching. Him in the tandem with d'Arnaud have been huge for this Braves team.
Got to try to put it in play with 2 strikes. Braves have done great work, as we've told you, with 2 strikes. 280 2-strike RBIs this year. That's second most in the major leagues. And that's what characterizes this team, Jeff. 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 innings, 2 hitters left. They don't quit. So after a couple of chases early in the count, now Contreras back even 2-2.
Yeah, well, he's trying to go for the strikeout, you know, with no outs at all. That's his best opportunity.
Popped up. Long run Alonso slowing now, backpedaling, and in foul ground makes the play. And the runners have to hold. Contreras unable to bring home Matt Olson. Eddie Rosario, your hitter, with 1 man out.
Now this is where if there's 2 outs, I think you would see Eddie get walked for the right-hander coming up. But problem is you do that, unless you get a double play ball, you see Ronald coming up after that.
I think this is a big momentum at bat for Atlanta. Second, third, nobody out.
And like you said, even if you just tack on 1, the idea of 3-1 to 4-1 in this type of game with only 6 outs left, each run makes it, for the Mets, makes it feel like, oh man.
They shade him toward left center in the outfield. A ton of room by the Braves bullpen. And he was late there, strike one. Rosario struck out twice against DeGrom tonight. Can the Braves put the ball in play and bring home Olson? Fly ball should do it. Nimmo and McNeil converge. Nimmo is there. Flat-footed catch. Olson's going to come home. d'Arnaud to third. Sac fly. And the Braves have a 3-run lead.
And how many times do we say during the playoffs, which this is that type of atmosphere, the little at-bats like that, being able to just get that one run. Look, you'd love to get both in, but as a hitter right there, you've got to get that one, and he did it. Good job by Eddie.
His 23rd RBI and 7th against the Mets this year. Orlando Arcia, the 9th place hitter for Atlanta. He's 1 for 2 tonight. I'd say the same thing, Orlando. In any language.
Yeah.
1 ball, 1 strike. The other good thing about this inning is, no matter what Arcia does, Atlanta's going to have its 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up in inning number 8. 4 runs on 7 hits for the Braves to this point. It's 2-2. As we suggested, A.J. Minter is getting ready in the Atlanta pen. 2 left-handers coming up for New York in the 8th. Guillorme and Nimmo.
And that's the thing. Max was on such a roll that, you know, you hated the idea of him having to leave after 5. With that being said, we talked about the great work of this bullpen, and especially in September. And so far tonight, Colin McHugh and Iglesias have held up their end.
2 innings of 2-hit relief. Yep. Scoreless relief. As a full count pitch is coming for Arcia. Swing and a shot. Hammer toward the gap, left center field. That ball is off the wall. Another run is in. Orlando on his way to second, and the Braves are pulling away. 2 strikes, 2 outs.
And I don't know what it is about the 9-hole, but you talk about incredible. The 3-hole for the Braves this year, Chip, 91 RBIs, the 4-hole 94, and right here on that beautiful double by Arcia, the 9-hole hitter in the Braves lineup, 96 RBIs. And just tack it on.
So 2 longtime Atlanta nemesis pitchers have been chased in game 1. DeGrom is gone, McGill is gone, and the chop house is electric.
You're
exactly right. That was maybe your best Friday night showdown of the year.
Got to bring it. Last one.
Well, the Braves have brought it tonight, wouldn't you say? 3 homers and 2 insurance runs now in the 7th. And the Mets go to Trevor May, who's had a disappointing year. .564 earned run average. Atlanta now with a 4-run lead, and Acuna coming up. In talking with Mets analyst Ron Darling about their club before the game, he said the problem with May is he gets in trouble, he throws harder, and the ball gets straighter.
It's the old adage of kind of like when you're, too amped up on the mound, sometimes it can backfire. I always said in football that worked. You could get mad and just go out there and hit somebody. But baseball a little bit different.
Braves have hit this guy pretty well in his meetings with the Braves. And Acuna down to his last strike in the 7th. The Mets will have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up in inning number 8. If this score holds, the Braves will have erased a 10.5 game deficit in the division. But we're not there yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Plenty of velo, but not good location. 2-2. And the scouting report has been pretty accurate.
Yep.
Dansby Swanson with his 100th home run tonight waits on deck. And Acuna didn't get it, and that'll retire the side. But the Braves pick up 2 huge insurance runs on 3 hits. We head to the 8th.
Top 8 we go. Braves up 5-1, and it is time for your Xfinity game break. A big weekend got even bigger as the Braves announced right before first pitch tonight that they have re-signed Charlie Morton, a 1-year, $20 million contract for next season and a $20 million club option for 2024. So Chuck is back for a 16th season as you're taking a look at 200 strikeouts this year, guys. I think that's best for something like 5th in the National League, and he's got experience. We know the big game pitcher pedigree. Most important, Alex Anthopoulos likes good clubhouse guys, and he fits in really well with this group that now going into next season, right? Fried, right? Strider, 5th spot up for grabs, and you got your veteran to wheel in all of those young arms.
I agree, and I think with what he's been able to do for this pitching staff, and you throw in possibly Mike Soroka, who you'd love to have back. It's just I love keeping these pieces of this team together.
Yeah, Ian Anderson, Kyle Muller, Bryce Elder. I mean, there are a lot of options for the Braves too. So Charlie, congratulations, and hopefully his good homework will continue in Game 3 of this series. This is Mark Vientos against A.J. Minter. One of 2 changes for the Braves in this 8th inning. Guillermo Heredia has taken over in left field for Eddie Rosario. Our first look at Vientos. 24 homer man at AAA. Buck Showalter and the Mets trying anything they can to get production out of the DH spot.
And I think back to the trade deadline, I think a lot of people were surprised the Mets didn't pick up a bat for that reason. One more big bat, because like you said, it's tough this time of year to start trying guys, especially young guys.
So fouled away for Vientos. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'd love no drama in the 8th and 9th with a 4-run lead. On the ground to short. Dansby's got it perfectly positioned, and his throw on the money. Minter gets his first man. 9th place hitter Tomas Nido is coming up. First, a quick word from Truist.
Tim always offered the best advice.
Hit it nice and firm.
Today, Tim is a teammate at Truist, where you can get personalized insights right on the app.
So, Jeff, dating back to that last game against the Washington Nationals, the Atlanta bullpen has now thrown 8 2/3 innings of 2-hit ball. Excuse me, 3-hit ball. 2 of them tonight. I beg your pardon. They have been unreal.
Yep, relentless.
That's a great word. Is Nido 0 for 2? He is pushed off the plate. 1 ball, no strike. I mean, to me, it's just so remarkable in many respects. But when you factor in all the innings these guys have logged just to get to this point and to have their best monthly ERA when the games matter most, that bodes well in postseason play. The Braves relief corps in the month of September entered action tonight with a 1.67 ERA. That ERA is twice as low as what they did in August. Fouled straight back by Tomas Nido. It's 2-1. Wind picking up just a bit. Beautiful night. A little warmer than we'd like. 70 degrees at first pitch, but cooling off ever more so as the red hot Braves are 5 outs away from a first place tie. Line toward right center. Harris on his horse, still going, streaking. That ball is over the bricks and gone. Tomas Nido with an opposite field home run, and the Mets get a run back. It's now a 5-2 game.
Yeah, and that's why those tack-on runs, Chip, were so big. Nido having a nice little run here late in the year for the Mets. That was a beautiful piece of hitting going right center. AJ kind of got behind in the count and threw a fastball up.
And somebody in the bullpen will throw that ball into the stands. It was obviously defective. As the Mets have their first homer of the series and turn things over to the top of their lineup. Brandon Nimmo has an infield hit in 3 tries. The lead is 3, and Nimmo pushed off the plate. That's the first earned run A.J. Minter has given up to the Mets all year in 7 1/3 innings. Only the second hit he's given up to the Mets this year. And took a little off and evens the count. Max Scherzer and 20-game winner Kyle Wright tomorrow night. Two-strike pitch for the Mets leadoff man, Brandon Nimmo, and out of play. you're just joining us, you've missed a great game. Max Fried went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. Max was ill. He was noticeably uncomfortable, left after 5 innings. He and Jacob deGrom were matching each other pitch for pitch. The Braves were down a run entering the 2nd. Riley and Olson hit back-to-back homers. Swanson hit 1 in the 6th. Braves got 2 in the 7th. Now the Mets with a run in the 8th inning have Nimmo putting up a fight with 2 strikes and 1 out. deGrom went 6, gave up 3 runs. He and Fried, the pitchers of record to this point. Want to get Nimmo with Alonso waiting on deck. Didn't have the plate. 2-2.
Good pitch. Good try. Maybe just a tick off, but
tipped and caught. Nimmo is down on strikes for the 2nd time. That's the 2nd out.
Now, everything was away, and you can see that one, whether he meant to or not, came back in and never had a chance.
So as we enjoy the proceedings tonight, we come to you somewhat somberly. As you know, Hurricane Ian has ravaged our neighbors in Florida and have impacted other states along the lower Atlantic coast. The Red Cross is here to provide shelter, food, comfort, and support. To donate, scan the QR code or visit redcross.org or text Ian to 90999 for a $10 donation. And the Red Cross and our friends all across the Southeast, thank you for your support. Ian certainly impacted an important part of our world, the Braves spring training complex down in Northport, where the eye of the storm came close to crossing in Florida. So thoughts and prayers to Mike Dunn and his staff.
Yeah, everyone down that way.
Cool Today Field.
Tough seeing some of those picks.
Man. A strike to Alonso, who's 1 for 3. Perfect world, you give Kenley Jansen a 3-run lead with 3 outs to get in the 9th. That's where we stand right now in game 1 of the series. Alonso's had an amazing year, 40 home runs. But Aaron Judge has hit 21 more. It's just the most amazing stat.
It is.
Two balls and a strike. Right across the New York lettering on that gray road uniform, and now Minter a strike away.
Yeah, change up top of the zone. Now you see these fans under their feet. Minter here, 50 Ks. Only 2 walks here at Truist Park. Make it 51.
Popped up. d'Arnaud to the on-deck circle. All the room in the world. To the home 8th. It's 5-2.
Baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. And by the NASCAR playoffs at Talladega Superspeedway October 1st and 2nd. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com.
Braves with a 3-run lead in the bottom of the 8th inning. Atlanta 3 solo home runs against Jacob deGrom. This is our final home telecast. Our next telecast of Braves baseball on Bally Sports and Bally Sports South comes your way in Miami. The final 3 games of the regular season. And those 3 games looking more and more important with each passing pitch. Our coverage begins at 6 Eastern on Bally Sports South and the Bally Sports app. As always, Braves baseball is presented by Truist. Dansby Swanson, an historic night for Atlanta. Jeff, here's the big blow he recorded in the 6th inning. Best coverage in the game, our T-Mobile coverage cam.
Yeah, I got 98 down and in, dropped the bat head on it. And I mean, you said it, this kind of broke it open there. It's 2-1 at this point, and deGrom was on a nice roll. And it was that 6th inning. And not only that, 100th career home run for Dansby Swanson.
Couple of changes for the Mets. Tyler Naquin's taken over in right field. Jeff McNeil, I beg your pardon, has moved to second, and Joely Rodriguez is going to come on with the Mets down 3, with Swanson, Harris, and Riley coming up. And could the sleeve be problematic? Yep.
Yeah, you got the white stuff on the sleeves. That's what he's telling him. You can have the black like that. You can't have white stripes like that. It would affect the hitter.
So our first fashion faux pas of the series here in Atlanta. And that's what's being explained to Buck Showalter by Nick Lentz, the home plate ump.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he didn't mean to. Trust me, he probably just had him on, but that's pretty common.
So as we told you, it's Rodriguez on the mound. Tyler Naquin is in right field. Jeff McNeil back at second. That might be how the Mets line up in game 2 here tomorrow night. So Dansby Swanson, 23 homers, 93 RBIs. He's also scored 97 runs. Man, oh man.
What a year.
Drive in 100, score 100.
And play shortstop the way he plays.
No balls and a strike for Swanson, whose season turned around in late May when he went back to all the mechanics he was working on in the offseason. He said all the strikeouts and lack of production, he said, almost made him physically ill.
Yeah, you watch it enough times. But he made a nice adjustment, and since then has taken off.
And not just offensively, as you said. You talk about a premier defensive season at a premier defensive position. I can't think of anybody that's played better than he.
No, and think about it. Shortstop gets the majority of balls a game. You're getting the most action out there for the most part. He hasn't made an error here at home since June 22nd.
Really?
Yep.
Well, hope that streak continues the rest of this weekend and into postseason play. What I really like too about Dansby's year, Jeff, he's hit just about every place in the lineup for the Braves. But Brian Snitker, who's been a master lineup manipulator, put him in the second spot and watched him take off.
Yeah, and he's really settled into that spot, and he's been outstanding. He's also, look, he's hit leadoff a few times when Ronald's been out and done a very nice job.
Now, we mentioned that fan in the red jersey on the right of your screen was the guy that caught the lucky home run ball. They're all wearing new Braves caps.
Yeah, look at them.
Deal has already been struck.
Either deal's been struck, or you know, they're buttering them up out there already.
Could be. On the ground to third. Nice pick by Escobar. And Swanson is out number 1 in the Atlanta 8th. Michael Harris is the batter. Went 1 for 3 against Jacob deGrom before he tries to pick up another multi-hit game. Here's a quick word from Marietta Toyota.
In Marietta, businesses come and go, and some remain and grow. Visit us at MariettaToyota.com to learn why it's always better in Marietta.
Another reason why Michael Harris is going to be the Rookie of the Year, Jeff. Lefties don't bother him a bit. .252 for Michael against southpaw pitchers. And one of the big moments of the season for the Braves took place in Miami. We've talked about that at least 10 times.
I mean, had nothing going on for 8 innings, and all of a sudden in that 9th inning, Tanner Scott comes in there, 98, first pitch, up and away. He hammers that thing to left center.
1 ball, 1 strike, base is empty, Braves by 3. Michael, another guy who I don't think gets enough credit for his defense and what he's meant to this team when he was called up. Really solidified the outfield play for Atlanta. First the 1-2 pitch. As good as he has been, I dare say it's Andruw Jones like. You're surprised when he doesn't catch up to or catch the ball.
Absolutely. Hey, look, he set a bar, and that's a good thing. We expect him to get to stuff now in the outfield.
On the ground into Lindor's glove, and he hustles down the line. Boy, I love that about this kid too. You hit the ball and run hard 4 times a game.
Yep.
2 outs. And here's Austin Riley. You talk about a crowd that was quiet in the 2nd inning. Austin Riley changed that, snapped the personal 0 for 12 streak with a laser over the center field fence.
Yeah, that was a backup slider, kind of got this crowd back into the game, and then Matt Olson comes up and puts the Braves up for good.
So Riley pushing toward a 40 homer year. He's got 38 of them. And this one on the ground again to Lindor, and that will send us to the 9th inning. 3-4-5 coming up for the Mets. Kenley Jansen on to protect a 5-2 lead in Game 1.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the GMC Sierra heavy-duty truck. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
You see Kenley Jansen getting ready to pitch the 9th inning. The Braves are 3 outs away from tying the Mets atop the Eastern Division. Jansen will face the 3-4-5 hitters for the New York Mets. Kenley looking for his 38th save of the year. And Jeff, after a rocky road trip out on the West Coast, Kenley has certainly turned things around.
He has, and what we're seeing again is the last 7-8 appearances, that cutter of his is working down in the zone, and he's really done a nice job.
Just 2 hits for Jansen allowed in his last 6 innings. 1 unearned run.
Reminds me a little bit of Will Smith. Last year, numerous times people ready to give up on him. They stuck with him at the end of the year. He started to get hot, and 7 for 7 in the postseason.
Get that first man, Francisco Lindor. And that's an excellent way to start. And this, I think, is the difference between the Kenley we saw out west and the Kenley that's pitching now. It's not 2-0 or 2-1. It's 0-2.
Remember, he was walking guys. And one thing you can say about Kenley all the years going back, he didn't walk guys.
That'll get your attention. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hope to have a happy Braves Live postgame after Kenley Jansen gets 3 outs. One down. Lindor chased up around the bill of his cap.
And that's the thing. When you're 0-2-1-2, then you can get swing and misses on those pitches. That's where you want to go for him. But when you're 2-0, 3-1, they're not chasing that pitch.
That's the all-important first out. Here's Mark Canha. Canha is 0 for 3. Ouch, he gets hit again. Mentioned that. Canha's hit for the 27th time this year.
That one got him good. I think it might have actually been above the pad.
Ooh, right on the Mets logo. Fighting target for a pitcher. And so 1 on, 1 out for Jeff McNeil. Well, as you said earlier, Mets are right on top of the plate. They're going to get hit. Now 111 Mets have been plunked this year. So there is a little 9th inning drama. 1 on, 1 out, and a tough man to strike out McNeil. Atlanta's gotten 2 double play balls tonight. A third would end the game. But the runner goes. Braves don't bother to hold Canha. And it's an easy swipe of second base. Right back where it came from. Canha broke back towards second. And the Mets are going to bring the tying run to the plate. And the hottest hitter on their team is Eduardo Escobar. So first and third. Drama in the 9th.
Well, this one was smoked right up the middle. You saw Canha go back right here to second. At the same time, in a 3-run game, you know, not getting doubled off is more important. Give themselves a chance.
Escobar has 3 hits in his career against Kenley Jansen. They're all extra base hits. And you see what he's done tonight. He's had a monstrous September. And Jansen wiggle out of this trouble. It began with a 1-out hit batsman. They don't quit either.
Well, it's where how you get to 97 and 98 wins like these two teams. Good cutter down.
Rookie Alvarez waits on deck in his big league debut. Braves would prefer to see him tomorrow night. 0-1. First and third, 1 out. Big pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike. Last 2 have been too high. Remember, he struck out Lindor on a ball that was well up and out of the strike zone. When Kenley's at his best, the ball is down. It's up now. And Escobar up in the count. More balls than strikes for Jansen. Escobar way ahead in the count. And the Mets have loaded the bases.
Well, you got a double play ball for this kid to start his career. Why don't you get it for him to end the night?
Watch out on the first pitch with this kid. Remember, a rocket hit right at Riley in the second inning. And what a moment for him. His first big league game, the game on the line, a 2-game swing, and facing a future Hall of Famer in Kenley Jansen, with no place to put Francisco Alvarez. Popped up, but headed out of play. Again, swinging on the first pitch.
Did you expect anything else?
Well, this is something we've talked about too. In playoff caliber games, a base runner's a rally.
Well, for sure. And look, you know, Kenley did a good job. You had to come. You got to get ahead. You can't keep pitching from behind.
Riley hugging the line at third. A 3-run lead for Atlanta. And now a big swing and a miss. 0-2. He wasn't shortening up and trying to poke the ball to right.
No.
He was not going to take a pitch, and Jansen used a young hitter's aggressiveness as a huge weapon.
There you climb the zone. Look how far under he was. He had one thing on his mind, and that was putting him up, and Kenley did a beautiful job climbing the zone. And for the second time tonight, the bat's flowing out of his hand.
But now you've got Tyler Naquin. This guy has had some big hits against the Braves this year. Atlanta needs one more out. No swing. d'Arnaud thought it was good enough to be called a strike. Didn't get the call.
No, I think he thinks he tipped it. Chip, I think he thinks it was a foul ball. That's what he was trying to point to. You hear him? See? Did you see how d'Arnaud put his hands up right away?
Mm-hmm. But that angle showed it wasn't even close to the bat. Ball one. Daniel Vogelbach is waiting on deck if Naquin keeps the game alive. No head-to-head history between Kenley Jansen and Tyler Naquin. But those are the impressive numbers against the Braves. Some of that came while with Cincinnati. We're a strike away. He's got his sign. Foul ball.
Almost. But with that swing right there, Chip, I think you can tell for Jansen, you can expand the zone right here. The crowd's going crazy. That was a very defensive swing. Yeah, climb the ladder, go back down. You can even run this one off the plate.
One ball, two strikes with two outs. Canna, McNeil, and Escobar, the Mets runners. A one-out hit batsman has led to a bases-loaded situation. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Fouled again. And if you remember what we talked about in the first inning, this is what makes this Mets offense so tough.
Well, drama here in the 9th. It's 2 foul balls. They just got enough to stay alive.
Pitch number 22. Popped him up. Olsen, foul ground over by the Braves dugout, but it's out of play. What an epic battle in the 9th inning. Naquin will see his 8th pitch.
The old check swing, foul ball. I do like that Kenley's continuing to come with this cutter. Thing you don't want to do, to me, in this case, and he's late on everything, is speed up his bat by throwing him an off-speed pitch.
Well, he's fouled off 6 of the 8 pitches he's seen in this at-bat. Tipped and caught, and the Braves win it. Kenley Jansen strikes out 3 in the 9th. The Mets leave 3 on in the 9th. But Jeffrey, with 5 games left, the Braves have erased a 10.5 game deficit and have pulled into a first-place tie.
I told you, it's Will Smith all over. He's going to give you a couple guys on, and he's going to find a way to get out of it. Great team win tonight. Really a dominant performance by this Braves team. Yes, DeGrom got his 11 strikeouts, but 3 big home runs. And then, of course, Max Fried, great for 5 innings, got sick. After that, the bullpen was outstanding.
Max Fried earns his 14th win. The Braves beat Jacob deGrom, Kenley Jansen, his 38th save, and we had him all the way special in the 9th inning.
Absolutely.
And what a way to start the weekend, Jeff. Our final Friday night showdown.
It was a heck of a Friday night.
Yes, it was. And 2 more to follow, and then we will join you in Miami for the final 3 regular season games. Braves off to a great start in this series, and they'll send 20-game winner Kyle Wright to the mound tomorrow night in Game 2. Our coverage Monday starts at 6 on Bally Sports South. Thanks once again to our fantastic Bally Sports crew for a tremendous year of Braves baseball here at Truist Park. Can't wait to be back with them next season in 2023. For Kelly Cole, Jeff Rancourt, and that entire crew, I'm Chip Carey. Braves a winner, 5-2 your final. We're tied for first heading into tomorrow's play, and Braves Live will wrap it up next.